What is up, you guys? This is All Day and Day 1 on the PS4, and I'm going to be giving you another Defiance 2050 video. And with this video I'm going to be giving you is I'm going to be showing you all of the available synergies, which there are currently 12 synergies, one of them being a recruit pack that you have to purchase in-game, not in-game, but in the in-game store. And we'll go ahead and take a look at all of them. So, you have Backlash, Voltaic, Eruption, Agony, Rampage, Chaperone, Merciless, Volcanic, Caustic, Entropic, Barbaric, and Recruit. As you can see, Recruit is the only one you can purchase, well, that only has 3 stats, and all 3 stats on all 6 tiers are going to all be the same no matter what. And it's always going to be rough gems as well. It's never going to be flawless or proficient, or not proficient, but polished or cut. And you'll be able to get this from the Defiance store. When you go to the Synergy Matrix, you just purchase it with 500 bits. You can get the Recruit Starter Pack. Now with this Recruit Starter Pack, you get the 50% XP boost, 15% vehicle speed boost, and 50% weapon skill boost, which is all those gems. If you have all 3 equipped, you get an additional 10 inventory slots, 1 loadout slot, and then you get 5000 MP. Now with the 5000 MP, the way that's going to work is it's not going to raise the cap of the MP on the top. That's based off the level on the left side of your screen. It says 41 out of 100 on my screen. You have to get that. I believe you have to increase that in level in order for your MP bar to level up, or not level up, but to increase, because that's basically an experience bar. The top bar is an experience bar, so you're basically getting 5000 experience to your synergies, and the more MP you gain, the higher your matrix, your synergy matrix increases. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at what Backlash does. So Backlash is mainly for the Guardian. You can use that threat generation for anyone else, but obviously it's only going to be good for the Guardian. You get threat generation, reflect, mending barrier, and barrier restores your vitality, and then your taunt increases, the taunt causes a certain percentage of incoming damage to be reflected for 5 seconds. Enemies hit by reflected damage take an additional increased damage from all sources for 3 seconds, and then enemies damaged by shockwaves are taunted and restores your vitality. Obviously tier 1 is not going to be that great, but tier 6 is going to be a lot better. Now for the Voltaic, you're going to have ion weapons. They gain increase in shield damage. Enemies damaged by ion weapons are affected by a barrage of supersonic waves that deal continuous damage to shields, and then it's a 6-second cooldown. You get an increase in reload, and that's only after you break the enemy's shield with ion damage or electricity. Enemies afflicted by Voltaic barrage take an additional damage or shield damage from all sources, and then enemies killed while affected by Voltaic barrage trigger an EMP, spreading the barrage to enemies within a certain amount of radius depending on the tier you're on. And then ion damage, as well as you gain an increase in ion damage, and you gain an increase in resistance to ion damage. So all elemental effects are going to be like this. They're going to all work the same way. You have Voltaic, you have the Volcanic, Caustic, Entropic, and Barbaric. Those are all going to be the same exact thing. Unfortunately, I don't know why they had to make it like that, but they all work the same way. So I'm just going to go ahead and skip the other I'm going to skip the elemental ones now after that one. So now you have Eruption. So Eruption is going to be for the Demolitionist. You get an increase in explosive inner radius. So that means you have the inner and the outer radius. Let's just say there's 2 circles. The inner radius is just getting a lot larger, basically making it to where it becomes the outer radius. So it's always going to do a lot of damage, pretty much max damage. So you do want to make sure you're not getting hit by your explosive, because you will take a lot of damage. You also get you get fast blast increase, and then cluster charge, which spawns out an additional amount of projectiles when detonated. With a cluster charge, the way that works is when you hit an enemy, it doesn't have to kill them, it just has to hit an enemy, and then you get the cluster charge. As soon as it hits the enemy, it only works on one enemy though. It's not going to hit multiple enemies, or it's not going to spawn off of multiple enemies. And then full reloads and chain kills cause the next shot to spawn a cluster bomb as well, which is really nice. And then you have explosive weapon damage, and then hatchlings and spawned projectiles burn enemies for a certain amount of time. Now for Agony, this is going to be for the assassin. You're going to increase in accuracy. The accuracy works on everyone, so if you have it, then I would just at least put 1 point on it for everyone. And also something I'd like for you guys to keep in mind is the second perk for the class perks do not work for any other classes. So if you were to use Eviscerate, or if you were to use 2 pieces of Agony on, I guess, like a Guardian or something, you're not going to get that Eviscerate bonus. It's not going to give you it, unfortunately. I think it's pretty dumb that you don't, but it is what it is. But you get Eviscerate and then Reboot Stealth, refresh secondary ability cooldown on activation. So the way that works is when you use Biotoxin, because you're going to be using Biotoxin with this type of build, you're not going to be using the Mark anymore, even though Mark is really good. But with Biotoxin, you would use it, and then as soon as Biotoxin's duration is over, you would use Stealth to reboot that secondary ability, which would be Biotoxin. So Biotoxin would come right back. And then you have the increase of damages increased dealt by Biotoxin and Eviscerate hits enemies within a certain amount of radius. So Biotoxin's damage is increased, as well as Eviscerate being increased in its radius, so you won't have to worry about putting Eviscerate on one enemy. It's going to put on multiple enemies within that radius. So in the end, you're going to basically have like the ultimate damage over time type of build. Enemies killed while inflicted by Biotoxin reduces your stealth cooldown by a certain percentage. Hitting an enemy inflicted by Biotoxin has a certain percentage chance to spread toxin. So what I like to run is, normally I like to use 4 pieces of Agony and 2 pieces of Volcanic. But you can also run all 6 pieces of Agony, because I think this is the best class synergy in my opinion. So now you have Rampage. Rampage is going to be for the assault. So with this, you get increase in fall off damage, you get an increase in recharge, improves accuracy by a certain percentage while sprinting, assault kills grant Rampage the rate of fire, and reload increase, or the reload speed increase for 6 seconds, and you can stack it up to 5 times. And then for the fifth gem, or the 5th perk, you get reloading an empty clip reduces active ability cooldown by a certain percentage, which is an 8-second cooldown. Using an assault ability also applies Rampage, and this works on all 6 tiers. Now you have Chaperone. So Chaperone is, I don't know if it's bugged, but it doesn't seem to be the best setup in my opinion. I've tried multiple times. I do like the 6th perk though. The 6th perk is really nice, and the 5th one, it's pretty cool. Well, I mean, honestly, they're all cool, but it seems a little bugged. But you get the self-revive cooldown, which doesn't seem to really matter, because I've never noticed my cooldown for my self-revive to get any faster. I actually think it's slower for some reason. And then you have you get a Savior increase, which I don't really like Savior that much. I don't even worry about it. And then number 3 is really cool. You get a healing pulse for your bot. Sends a pulse every 3 seconds, healing all friendly targets within a certain round of radius. I think it's all 10 meters is what it is, which is pretty nice. And then using a combat medic ability grants everyone in a 10-meter radius a ward which absorbs damage equal to a certain percentage based on vitality for 6 seconds. Cooldown is 10 seconds, so that's pretty good. And then you have the protection and revive spike also, which will also ward everyone within their radius as well. Using Healing Bot reduces spikes and spike cooldowns by a certain percentage. I don't want to say 43%, but a certain percentage. Using a spike reduces Healing Bot's cooldown by a certain percentage as well. Now, the reason why I'm saying it's bugged is because you can't make use of using Bot Supplier, because Bot Supplier is not going to give you any ammo back, which really sucks. I don't like that at all. And then I don't think you even get the recover perk either. Like this one, I've never noticed. I don't know why I even still have it, but I've never noticed myself gaining an increase in my self revive ever while using this. And it seems like it's only with the heal pulse, bot. Now we are going to go with Merciless. So Merciless is going to be for the Crusader. So you get an increase in movement speed, which is good for all classes. You get +1 or +2 or +3 to Bulldozer. And then you get Ardent Hammer time, cooldown reduced by 10 seconds or 13 or whatever, and begins immediately, which is pretty cool if you like using the hammer. I don't care for the hammer. Hammer ground pound and blitz radius damage is increased, as well as the damage increased by a certain percentage. Enemies hit by blitz restores a certain amount of your health, so 7% on tier 2, 9% tier 3, all the way up to 15% on tier 6. And then number 6, hammer kills reduce blitz cooldown by 100%, 86%, 72, all the way down to 30%, which is pretty cool if you use blitz and hammers a lot. I don't really care, like I said, I don't care for the hammer, so that's already like up to, I only need up to the 2nd perk for this one. Because Bulldozer is a very good, I think it's the best passive ability or passive to have in the game, plus that extra movement speed. And then there's Volcanic, which is the fire one, the same exact thing as the Voltaic. And then Caustic, same thing as Voltaic. Entropic, same thing, but this is with Quantum. Barbaric, same thing, but this is with armor piercing. And then you have Recruit. But that is basically everything, all of the synergies. Hopefully they add more and possibly even tweak these ones, fix some of them, because I honestly don't think a lot of these are that great or worth using. For example, the Entropic and the Barbaric don't even seem, I'm not even going to bother using these because I don't use armor penetration weapons or piercing weapons, and I don't use quantum weapons either. I think what would have been pretty cool with Quantum is possibly make it to where the enemies all take, I don't know, they all take an additional damage to something else. I don't know, they're just something different than what everything else is. I think all the elemental ones need something different than what they all already do, because they all do the same thing. And the Volcanic one is the best one out of all of them, because it's just straight up fire, which does damage to enemies' health. But yeah, that's pretty much it with this video. If this helped you out, go and leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know down in the comment section as well, and I'll try my best to help you guys out as much as possible. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This is all Day1 on the PS4. Have a good day, good night, and peace.